Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This feels very bizarre. I cannot remember the last time I stood in front of the camera ready to film a capsule wardrobe video. If you don't know, I've been away for almost a year. I made a video recently where I just kind of get back into the swing of things, fill you in on where I've been, what's going on, what's happening with my business and my personal life. So in case you missed that, I will link it for you down below. Either way, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. So a few things I want to mention before talking you through everything here in my capsule wardrobe. I recently went back to the corporate world, so I am working a full-time position now. I am also a mom of two. That will of course be reflected within my wardrobe. I will make a sort of work capsule kind of video as well, where I just talk you through some of the things that I tend to gravitate towards mostly when I'm going to work and when I'm getting dressed for work. I work in a theme park in the marketing department today, something very different than working with fashion, but it's still very creative. It's a very fun position. It's a very fun place to work. So the dress code there is, I would say, mainly smart casual. So I'm not super dressed up. I'm not super corporate when I go to work, but then at the same time, I do like to add those slightly more polished and streamlined elements to my outfits. Let's start with the coats. A lot of these you will have seen a gazillion times before. Nothing's really changed there. Although I will say, because my body has changed a lot over the years, I've had two children, and also just the fact that my style has evolved naturally, like it will. I actually did sell out quite a few pieces from my wardrobe earlier this year, especially in connection to doing the low buy, which I did until August. Then I kind of had to break it because I got this new job and I just felt like there are some gaps within my wardrobe. It didn't quite meet the requirements I had for getting dressed for a proper job. You'll see a lot of things that I've had for a long time, but there are also a few new pieces in here. And then I also have some gaps, which I will mention along the way. Outerwear, let's get back to that. So Everlane trench coat, you've seen this many times before. I've had this, I think, since 2018, and I still love it. It has started, you know, showing signs of where it started to like have some discoloration around the neck that won't really come off. It's also faded underneath the fold of the sleeve here. And then the lining inside has also started getting teared up. So it's still a nice coat, but I think I will probably replace it next year. I would like something slightly longer, slightly more oversized, I think, when I replace this one, but it's still a great coat. Then we have my lovely chocolate brown quilted coat. This is from And Other Stories. Let's just say 80% of my wardrobe is secondhand. That's usually, you know, what I land on. It's still the same, you know, maybe a little bit more. But I do have categories where I will never compromise and where I tend to buy new. Jeans and pants, for example, but the rest, pretty much always secondhand. This is also secondhand and I love it. I wore it a lot through my pregnancy last year as well. And it's just a nice coat, you know, it's kind of a hybrid between dressy and practical. And then finally we've got this beauty, which I just whipped out because it's October now and it's starting to get more cold. So now that we're getting close to the winter season, I'll probably reach more for this. Found it on Vestiaire Collective a couple of years ago and it's just a lovely coat. Very beautiful. I always get so many compliments when I wear this. These are actually the longer, like, warm coats that I have in my autumn capsule right now. You might remember that I had a camel coat from And Other Stories that I've been wearing, I want to say to death. I've been wearing it a lot. I sold that recently because I wanted to make room for a navy blue coat similar to this one. Haven't found the perfect one yet, but I'll keep searching. I would just love to have something in a slightly more classic color, whereas I feel like this is more of an accent. And yeah, I would like a darker colored coat. So that's on my wish list. Then moving on to this amazing biker jacket. Look at that. So this is something I recently found on Vinted. I sold the other one that I had already, which was a proper black, slightly more thick and very heavy biker jacket. Beautiful, made from recycled leather from Pellet de Coco, but I never wore it. So I was looking for something slightly more lightweight and something in a slightly softer color. So that's when I found this one, originally from My Essential Wardrobe. And I will wear this to work. Like when I'm wearing a pair of tailored trousers and a t-shirt, I will wear this. And I like because it's so lightweight and soft. You can kind of use it as a substitute to a blazer. Next up, we've got this one, which I've had for a couple of seasons as well. Just an overshirt in these lovely blue colors. Blue is my favorite color, probably always will be. Matches the color of my eyes, and I think it suits me. So yeah, I love this overshirt, and this is just autumn in a jacket to me. And I wear this more for weekends, like weekends and running errands if I'm working from home. This is something I will whip out. I feel like it's a little bit too casual to wear to work. So again, that's where I like to dress casually, but I still like to wear slightly dressy, streamlined outfits to work. I try not to have like a super trifurcated closet. We actually talked about that on the podcast. I used to be in with Sustain This, which sadly I had to say goodbye to as well because I don't have the time anymore. But I'll link the episode down below. So we basically just talk about blurring the lines between the different categories within your wardrobe. So basically work, life, and play. Try to blur the lines between those three and mix and match everything more to really get full wear out of what you have. I do think it's a little bit unrealistic in some cases, at least from my point of view, being a mother of two. I do have pieces in my wardrobe that I like to preserve for work and nicer occasions, and then stuff that I tend to wear more around the house. I think a lot of people can relate to that, parents at least. But I try to kind of push myself to still wear my nicer things and still, make an effort when I'm around the kids because I just feel so much better. This is my denim jackets from Levi's. Haven't worn it a lot actually this season, but it's a great transitional piece for autumn, spring, all year round actually. And you can kind of use this as the same way as with the biker jacket. If you want to add some texture or a casual touch to your outfit, you can use this as a substitute to a blazer. Speaking of blazers, I have two here. I used to have a beige blazer as well. Sold that one because I never wore it. It was a little bit too thick. It was almost like a hybrid between a blazer and a coat. So it was too warm to actually wear to the office. So I've sold that one. I might see if I can find a substitute if I miss it. Otherwise, I do have a beige blazer in my sort of spring-summer storage because it's a linen blazer, so it's a little bit more cool, has a little bit more texture. Cool meaning it's not so warm to wear during the spring and summer season. But otherwise, I've got these two for the autumn-winter season. This one was a gift by the team at Shaping New Tomorrow. So just a little disclaimer there, a little advertisement disclaimer. This was a gift. I absolutely love it, and I actually had this on my wish list already when I got in contact with them. So wear that a lot. And then I've got my good old gray herringbone blazer from Everlane, which is made from wool. Probably won't be wearing this so much right now. I'll wear this more when it really starts getting cold and we get closer to the winter season. But blazers, cannot live without them, and especially for corporate wear, I feel like these are such good staples because they will just streamline anything you wear, basically. Then we have shirts, similar to the blazers. If I'm not wearing a blazer to work, I will usually be wearing a shirt because, again, that's a super easy way to dress up your outfits, and then you can wear it with jeans, still keep it quite casual. I tend to layer them a lot with like a tank top underneath as well. Or now that it's getting colder, I will definitely layer a sweater on top. Then we have this section here of my wardrobe. These are all like sweaters. The light blue sweatshirt that I'm wearing today is actually part of this little selection here as well. So, and then of course I have knitwear over here. I'll go through that in a minute, but we've got some striped tops here. So just this one is actually a maternity top, but I wear it. It's a nice like oversized top. Then we've got my good old Cézanne Leontine jumper. Then we've got sweatshirts. We've got my charcoal gray one and then the light blue one, same style. I wear these mostly around the house throughout weekends, not so much to work. Like if I were to wear a sweatshirt to work, I would definitely, you know, I could wear it with jeans, but I would definitely like wear some nice earrings, layer up a bunch of jewelry, wear a pair of cool boots or something to kind of dress it up a little bit. But they're nice. They're a great, slightly less delicate alternative to knitwear, especially when you're around the kids, because you can spill anything on those and you can just pop them right into the washing machine. We've got some lightweight knitwear here. Let's just go through those before going through the slightly more chunky knitwear over here. Nothing new here really. These two are my Le Pirol lightweight merino wool sweaters that I've had for some years. I love these. When it starts getting really cold, I use them as a substitute to t-shirts, so I will wear something like this underneath my blazers. Then I've got this cardigan, which I got by the start of last year, I think it was, another vintage find. Probably one of the most boring pieces of clothing when you just see it like this, but I tend to style it with a tank top underneath, a pair of jeans, some flats or some boots. And then I just kind of leave it open like this. Before I move on to t-shirts, let's just go through the knitwear over here. I do have a new piece that I want to show you, which is this beautiful, beautiful cable knit sweater. This is another piece that I recently bought and I found on Vinted. It was new with tax, but still. And it's just beautiful. The shape is very boxy and it has these very big and boxy like fluted sleeves. And yeah, I love a sweater. It's like my comfort piece. I've worn this a lot to work with jeans. I've also worn it with tailored trousers. And I just love the cable knit. I feel like, again, it makes it look less flat. And I love that there's an element of interest to it like that. And I love it. It's made from 100% wool. Very lovely and chunky. It's sold out as far as I can remember, but if I can find something similar, I will link it for you down below. Then we have, you know, my camel merino sweater here. I have my beige roll neck that you've probably seen before as well. I have my gray sweater that I've worn a lot over the years. Roll neck sweater. And then my navy blue merino sweater here, which is the same as the brown one or the camel colored one I have up there. So that was all of the tops. No, sorry, we have the t-shirts still. Basic t-shirts. I have some gray ones. I have some white ones, both a regular crew neck. I'm wearing one of them today. Regular crew neck and sort of like a boxy cropped fit. This one is actually from Selected, which it kind of reminds me of the fit of the COS like boxy t-shirts, but just a little bit more budget friendly. But it holds up the shape very well. So if you're looking for something a little bit more budget friendly than the COS t-shirts, then this could be a nice little option. This one is a little bit creased because I just washed it recently. But this is the shape. So it's kind of like a boxy, slightly cropped shape. Proper crew neck. Love it. Very thick cotton. Then I also have, did I say that already, a v-neck t-shirt here, just if I want to wear something with a slightly different neckline. I've got my Anina Bing t-shirt, and then just a navy blue t-shirt here as well. And then what else do we have? We have some tank tops. Usually I would actually pack these away for like when we end the summer season, but I have been wearing those quite a lot throughout autumn. I might soon pack them away, or maybe I'll just use them as a base layer underneath the sweater if I need some extra warmth. But I have been wearing these a lot underneath shirts throughout the late summer, early autumn season. So kind of like the transitional season. I need to throw that one in the wash. Great. Let's do that right away. But yeah, really great layering piece. And obviously throughout the summer season, it's something you can wear on its own as well. Let's move on to bottoms. So I'm wearing Oh, can you see my Everlane dark blue jeans that I bought a couple of years ago today? So just a basic pair of straight leg jeans, proper full length. So jeans, that's like the jean shape that I go for. I have the same jeans that I'm wearing now in light blue here. Both of those are from Everlane. It's a way high rigid. One of my absolute favorite jeans styles. I also have a pair of, these are more of like a soft white pair of jeans from Arcade. They are slightly cropped. I don't wear those a lot, I have to be honest with you, because again, that's where I would never wear those around the kids. Crop jeans from Levi's, light blue. Had those for years as well. And then a new pair of jeans are these from Anine Bing, another vintage find. These are the Manon jeans. Granted, I bought them a while back and I have lost some weight. So they're a little bit big right now, but you know, they're a really like baggy, like at least to my standards, they're quite baggy, and I love them. I feel great. I wear these to the office as well, actually. Sometimes actually to the job interview, I wore these with my pointy slingback flats to give them some sharpness, a white tank top with my pinstripe blazer, and I felt killer in that outfit. I felt so amazing. So I think you definitely need to balance them out. They were a little bit too long, so I've done that trick where you hem them, but you keep the original hem. I might have to alter them a little bit again because I feel like they got a little bit too cropped, so I might have to unpick that and then try again. I do have a reel where I share how to do that. It's actually super easy. I've done it with some of my eldest daughter's pants as well. But I love these jeans nonetheless. 100% cotton, and you can just feel that these are the type of jeans that will get better and better through wear. Let's bring out these pairs. Pair of silk pants. These were from Arcade originally. And I haven't been reaching a lot for those lately, again, because it is getting a little bit too cold. But these with a jumper and a pair of flats, or, you know, flip-flops and a t-shirt throughout the summertime. I mean, I love them. They're so comfortable, and yeah, just a nice way to add some elegance and some texture to your outfits. We've got a pair of tailored trousers. These were also a gift from the team at Shaping New Tomorrow. So again, a little disclaimer for you there. They're a herringbone tailored trousers. A herringbone tailored trouser. Super wide legs. Tend to go for these if I'm going to the office and I want to wear a sweater. I really like styling it with these to kind of polish it off a little bit. Then we've got my trusty old black tailored trousers from Arcade. These are also the wide leg ones. I've had these since 2018. And they've been holding up really well. They're a little bit more snug fitting than the gray ones, but still with a wider leg. And then these are actually something that I only wear strictly for weekends or around the house. They're from Armed Angels. Pair of wide leg joggers, actually. And then finally we've got my dark gray leather pants from a Goldie. I haven't worn these yet. I don't really know if I would wear these to the office. We'll see. Maybe throughout winter season with a sweater and a pair of boots. I'm not sure. Maybe these would be more something I would wear for like a special event. I'm not sure. I still love leather pants, but at the moment I'm just not wearing them that much right now. Let's proceed with shoes. So, should we do flats first? Maybe, because I will soon be packing those away. I have 3 pairs of flats. And I'm gonna try not to show you them from the inside too much because they need a wash. I'll show you from the side. All of these are secondhand. Let's just get that out of the way. These were from Aldo. Just a really basic black flat with a little bow. So definitely something a little bit more feminine. And if those were not my first choice, I have also been wearing these leopard flats that you probably saw last year. Was it last summer I bought them, or last autumn? Love to add these if I'm wearing something quite simple and I want to add something, you know, a little something something. A leopard print will always do that for you. And then we've got these slingbacks from Pavement. Leopard shoes were from Billy B. These are from Pavement. And And I love adding these if I want to feel a little bit more, you know, sharp and cool. If I'm wearing something oversized and slouchy, I feel these really add that element of sharpness. We'll probably pack those away very soon because it's getting too cold, but again, like I said, I've been wearing those a lot to the office. Something else I've worn a lot is my chocolate brown loafers from Massimo Dutti. Also secondhand, very lightweight, super comfortable. I don't think I've ever had a pair of loafers that comfortable. No need to break them in or anything like that. Just very, very comfortable. Wear these a lot to the office, and I actually think I'm going to be keeping them for a while still in my autumn capsule, because you can wear these with a cute sock. Like I have, where are they? Oh, maybe they're in the wash, but I have like burgundy colored socks, a white sock even. I think that looks quite cool. For sneakers, I've got my Vea Campo sneakers. They could definitely do with a wash, but I wear these to the office as well, especially if I'm wearing, you know, again, tailored trousers. I feel like these are a great, simple, streamlined pair of sneakers to wear for like a corporate job, because they're still quite streamlined. They're not like super clunky, and you can wear those with tailored trousers and with like a suit. That would look, you know, that always looks very cool in my opinion. And then I have some boots. So I obviously, okay, they are very dusty. I need to clean those up, but they're my Acne Jensen boots. My entire wardrobe definitely needs a hoover. That's one thing I gotta say, but you've seen these a gazillion times. My Acne Jensen boots that I've had since 2017. Haven't been reaching a lot for those lately because I recently got these suede booties from Copenhagen Studios. Again, vinted to the rescue. So because I have been selling out quite a few things from I have been selling out quite a few things from my own wardrobe, I tend to leave those, the money that I make from those sales, I leave those on my Vinted account, and then I invest it into new pieces for my wardrobe. And that's the same thing with these. So I really love the chocolate brown color. Like I said, chocolate brown is probably my favorite alternative to black. And they just go so well with anything, like especially blue. Feel a little less monochromatic and harsh, which I really like, because as you can see, I have gone back to a slightly more monochromatic version of myself that I used to be when I started, you know, capsule wardrobes. And that's something I tend to find, that when life feels hectic or overwhelming, you know, I've just gone back from having been on maternity leave, and now I've started a new job, and a lot of things have happened over the past year. I feel like I always tend to go back to slightly simpler wardrobe. It just feels easier on my mind. And I quite like where I'm at with my style right now. Sticking to the neutrals, but still neutrals that would be within my color type palette. My soft, cool, light color type palette. So I'm still using the principles of color analysis. And then the other pair of boots I have, again, they're a little bit dusty. These I bought last year from Steve Madden, also secondhand. And again, I wouldn't wear these to the office. I would go for the other pair because they're more dressy. These are more something I tend to wear throughout weekends and when I'm with the kids, basically. I forgot to mention here, I've got like special occasion wear. So I've got my sage green suit that I wore to a wedding recently. And then I've got this one as well. And I think heading into the festive season, this should be quite nice with a pair of jeans and some nice, you know, fancy shoes. So I'm keeping out a few like dressier items like that. And that's where you'll definitely see again, my wardrobe is a little bit divided like that, but not completely, because I can still mix and match things. It's more a question of, you know, when would I wear certain pieces, and certain pieces I wouldn't wear around the kids. And then there are a few pieces that are too casual to wear at work. I can see I've been talking for 40 minutes now, so it's gonna be fun to edit this video. But I really hope you enjoyed having a glimpse into my autumn capsule wardrobe and just some thoughts on where I'm at with my style now that my life looks a little bit different. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you've got in your autumn capsule wardrobe. And also feel free to drop any requests down below. If there are any videos you would like to see from me, I will do my best to put them on my list. And I'll see if I can film those very soon. But I just want to say thank you for watching if you're still here. And I will see you very soon with another one.